Bismillah, alhamdulillah, as-salatu was-salam ala rasulillah. A lot of people claim that different ideologies are compatible with Islam. They'll say that, for example, social justice activism is compatible with Islam, or feminism, or even veganism, vegetarianism. All of these claims are made in this day and age where Muslims are trying to hitch their wagon to the trendy or popular ideology that's in vogue today. But how do we evaluate these claims? How can we really understand if these ideologies are truly compatible with Islam? What we need to do is understand the difference between usul and furu'. Usul and furu'. So what do these terms mean? So every ideology has this basic structure, and it doesn't have to be an ideology. It can be even religion. It can be a philosophy, but they all share this basic structure of having core principles, usul, and then furu', branching issues, which are secondary or tertiary beliefs or positions. And so you can imagine a tree, and the tree has a trunk, and that represents the usul, and then you have branches that branch out, and those are the furu'. So we can understand all ideologies in that way. So how do we compare two ideologies? Well, if you do a comparison and just look at the furu', if you just look at the branch issues, you can find a lot of compatibility. You can find a lot of compatibility between two ideologies when it comes to these secondary and tertiary issues that are found in the branches. But what about the usul? To really be able to compare two ideologies, you have to see what are the core principles that are at the center of these different ideologies. And so you can, again, diagram this with two trees. You have, for example, Islam and social justice activism, okay? There's very clearly areas where the two overlap, right? There are issues where both Islam and modern day social justice activism align very clearly. So you find this same pattern. Look at feminist Islam, okay? Yeah, there's very clearly overlaps when it comes to respecting women, treating women well. These are things that Islam endorses and acknowledges and champions. But there are other issues that are very obviously un-Islamic, anti-Islamic, and they stem from difference in usul, right? Because we're looking at two completely different trees, right? Two completely different trees. So a good example is recently there was a Muslim woman in India who thought that she could lead men in prayer. So she led Friday prayer for a bunch of these confused Muslims. And what she claimed was that Islam has equal roles for men and women. Therefore, it should be valid for a woman to lead Friday prayers and to be in that role of an imam. Okay, so this is an example. She took the idea of equality in role in religion as part of the asl, as part of the usul of Islam. Okay, but that's a mistake. That's purely a principle from a feminist paradigm or feminist mindset that has been conflated with Islamic usul. And so again, think of the tree. The only way that you can get to this position, this branch of a woman being an imam, a woman leading men in prayer, a woman leading Friday prayer, the only way to get to that is from the feminist feminist tree, from that direction. Okay, so this is why it's so dangerous to conflate the usul of two different ideologies and claim that Islam is feminist, communist, in line with social justice, ideology and activism, it leads to this kind of confusion and conflation. And you have Muslims who otherwise are very orthodox and traditional, and they start endorsing these positionings that are very un-Islamic. So how do they get to that state? It's because they've started out by mistaking the usul of these other ideologies and thinking that they're Islamic, and then deriving these positions that, again, are so far removed from the Islamic religion.